We're here with head OUAZ baseball coach Tim Montez. And Coach, it was a busy week last week for you and your squad. A long one as you left on Monday morning to make your way to Easley, South Carolina. A flight to Atlanta, a car ride to Greenville, South Carolina. So just a travel day Monday, and then Tuesday was just full of activities. You guys were able to hit the field and practice for the first time, community service, the opening banquet, and then the opening ceremonies. Just talk about what Tuesday was like, getting the team on the field, and then just all of the activities to open up at the World Series.
Well, it was a good experience, first of all, and yeah, it was. We had our days were definitely planned out, and there was plenty for us to do. It was good travel day. We didn't have any mishaps, which was probably a first for us all season. But we were able to practice on Tuesday. And then we were able to go out and do some community service where our guys broke up and visited some elderly care homes, and they just really enjoyed it. That was really a highlight. And then we had the banquet and the opening ceremonies, and finally got back to the hotel later that evening to get going for Wednesday's game against number 1 seed Biola.
Now, before your game, you were able to hit the practice field once. How do you think your players did out there, knowing that they had to shake the dust off a little, but also practicing there in the humidity?
Well, we were. I think I prepared them okay. I let them know about the humidity, and since I coached out in the Southeast for the last 11 years, but. The thing that hurt us was, you mentioned it shaking off the dust, and, we didn't play our best baseball down there, and that was disappointing. We were off for 3 weeks. I knew it would have an impact on us, but it had a little bit more than I thought. We really just didn't really start to play well until about our third game of the pool play, and then by then, it was too late, but. Overall, was a good experience. We got our fourth game in pool play rained out and canceled, and that was very disappointing. But you can't control the weather, but from where we started to where we finished, even though we didn't show well, I thought it was a very successful trip.
In your first 2 games against Biola and then Bluefield. Both times the teams jumped out to early leads, the opposition did, but you had to be pleased with the fight that your team showed. They didn't get run ruled in either game, and they really fought back and fought hard till the very end.
Yeah, and that was probably our MO the whole year. These guys have been through it all, seen it all, and they just kept competing. And like I said, I probably, you live and learn. Even though I've been blessed to have gone to postseason a number of times over my coaching career, this was the first time that we had 3 weeks off. There was no mistake about it that the teams that played the best in the tournament were the ones that just finished their season the previous week. But I probably, looking back, I probably wouldn't have named our travel roster as early as we did, because what ended up happening is we were only able to take 24 players, and so we didn't have enough players to inter squad in those 3 weeks. So it was just small group work, regular standard structured practices, and you get away from that game competition, and I think that really reared its ugly head the way we played. But our guys fought and really looked forward. They were excited, when we got back, because, I had several of them come up and say, Coach, work my tail off over the summer, and look forward to coming back in August and getting after this thing next fall. So that was good, and we're excited about being in the GSAC next year, and we know we're going to have our work cut out for us, and it's a heck of a league, and we look forward to the opportunity.
One final question about the this past tournament. Josh Meyer was named to the all-tournament team following play of the NCCAA 2018 World Series. What did you think about what you got from your senior catcher and first baseman?
Oh man, what a great way to cap off his senior year. And you know, I look at all three of those seniors, Colton Follett, Greg Sines, and Josh Meyer. But you know, for Josh to be able to, to have the success he did in those 3 games, and you know, it was kind of neat because when we were down there, we were able, even though we got rained out that Saturday, we were able to set up a workout with one of the major league teams and down in North Carolina, and so we had some of our draft eligible guys go out and try out, and they all did very well, showed very well. So, and Josh was one of those guys. So I really hope he gets an opportunity along with a few of our other guys that keep playing at the next level. I think he has a good shot, and I think he would be a great senior sign. So Josh was a great leader, and along with our other 2 captains, and like I said, it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Final question for you, Coach. This was a very productive and great first year for the baseball team. You finished with a record of 24-24. You go to the World Series. What changes need to be made headed into next season as you hit the recruiting trail?
Well, we need depth, and I think that was the one thing that showed up all year was the lack of depth, and that's to be expected. It's going to take. I told our coaches, it's going to take at least 2 more recruiting classes to build that depth. We definitely need to have a little more depth on the mound, and we just need to get a little more physical and be able to have that depth that builds competition during the practice week. And we've got a pretty good start on our next recruiting class. We're going to probably bring in 10 to 12 players. And right now we're just trying to find a few more arms to round it off. So we're excited, and we just appreciate our administration and everybody involved in this first year. And we're excited to get back to work.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time today and all season. Congrats on a great first season, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it. God bless.